Well, I brought a book with me for story time this morning. Do you want to come up and see the book I have? You don't have to if you don't want to. I know how it is. This book is part of a series called The Legends of Nanabush, and they are by an artist named Pauline Ojig from Wikwemicon. And so this is a series of stories that she did. So if you want to come up while I read about Nanabush and the wild geese, you are welcome to, but I bet you can also see it from there. Nanabush the spirit was suddenly wide awake. The chipmunk was chattering, "Wake up, you old sleepyhead." Nanabush forced his eyes open and quickly spotted his friend the chipmunk sitting on his knee. "Now I'm awake," Nanabush said, "and what's the big idea of making so much noise, Chipmunk? I was having a beautiful dream." "Sorry to disturb a beautiful dream, Nanabush. What brave deeds were you doing this time?" asked the chipmunk. Nanabush thought the chipmunk was being a little rude, but he let it pass. "I dreamed I was eating some great, big, fat, juicy geese," replied Nanabush. "That's all you ever think about, Nanabush, or dream of," said the chipmunk. "Do you think that all your brains are in your stomach?" You think so? I think so. That was too much. Nanabush quickly jumped up and scrambled up the tree after the chipmunk. "I'll teach you to wake me up and then be rude to me," he shouted as he grabbed his friend by the neck. "What's the matter with you, grumpy one?" said the chipmunk. "I was only teasing. You like to tease, but you can't take it yourself." Suddenly, Nanabush felt very ashamed of himself and quickly let his friend go. "Let's play tag," said the chipmunk when they came down out of the tree. "I'm too hungry to play," said Nanabush. "Do you want some nuts? I've got lots of them stored up," said the chipmunk. "No thanks," replied Nanabush. "Right now, I feel like a good feed of wild geese." "Good, I'll help you catch some geese," said the chipmunk. "No thanks," replied Nanabush. "You always chatter when you get excited. If we did spot any geese, you'd just scare them away." "All right, I'll see you later," replied the chipmunk, and he quickly scampered away. Nanabush walked along the river to where it emptied into the lake. "I'll hide myself in these bushes, and maybe if I'm lucky, some fat, foolish food will come along my way." Nanabush waited and waited. "My goodness, but I'm hungry," he groaned to himself. Suddenly he heard a beautiful sound in the distance. A flock of geese were honking happily as they headed towards Nanabush. I need help with the sound effects. The geese were honking. Oh my. "It won't be long until eating time," said Nanabush, and he became very excited. "Now you geese must be very tired from your journey," whispered Nanabush. "Come down and land on the lake, for it is a good place for a long rest." See, you want to eat those geese? Yeah. When they were almost overhead, they landed on the lake not very far from where Nanabush was hiding. Nanabush quickly grabbed a long rope that he had made out of long strips of cedar bark. He rolled up the rope on his arm and quietly dived into the lake. He started to swim underwater toward the geese. As Nanabush swam under the first goose, he tied the rope to its feet. He swam from goose to goose, tying their feet to the rope. Now Nanabush was being very greedy and very foolish. All he needed for a few good meals was one goose, or at the most 2, but he decided to catch all the geese. But one of the old geese was very wise. He could feel Nanabush slipping the rope on his foot, and he said, "Something strange is going on under the water. I think someone is tying our feet together, and it may be the trickster, Nanabush." "But what can we do?" asked all the others. They did this by honking. Okay. "When I give the signal," said the old goose, "we will all fly up at once." The old goose gave a loud honk, and all the geese flew up. Nanabush had tied the rope to his hand, and he was dragged up into the sky with them. The old wise goose was in the middle of the rope, so he took the lead, and a V formation formed because they were all tied together. Nanabush was too frightened to cry out. The V formation was now higher than the trees, and Nanabush managed to untie his hand and let go. Down, down, down towards the earth, Nanabush fell and landed in some soft, mucky mud. Nanabush crawled out of the mud, and what a sorry-looking sight he was. Several of his animal friends had gathered round by this time, and they laughed and laughed at him. Nanabush had learned his lesson. He was so ashamed that he forgot about how hungry he was. He quietly sneaked away. And since that day, geese have continued to fly in a V formation. There's our story. Do you want to have a look at the book while you're sitting? Here you go. You can look at the pictures.